Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If today is the first time you are watching me on the YouTube, please warm welcome from me. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe on the subscription box below. Just press the subscribe so that whenever I share with you some video, you can be able to get the notification. And if you're for the first time, my name is Jerry Mboweni. I am a certified life coach and NLP practitioner. I am also the author of a book called 11:59:59, an ex-junk last-minute victory. I am also a motivational speaker and a mentor. But I have written a little bit short of my story on the subscription box down below. Just read it and please comment, share your own experience in life if you wish to. So today I wanted to talk about the phases of trauma recovery. The phase of trauma recovery. So when we experience trauma, we actually go through certain phases. And then, for example, a pandemic is a trauma. So we just experience, the world experience trauma now. And trauma is anything that happened to us that we did not plan it. So something happened to us and we didn't plan it. There's trauma. The world is experiencing trauma now. The pandemic of coronavirus has just hit us. We were not planned. One day I was busy going to the gym. I was busy. Things was going okay. We can't move it anymore. So that was a trauma. But with the trauma, there is a process. And that process is very important for you and me to understand. So you can be able to acknowledge where you are and then be able to deal it with what's happened. And please comment with me in this process, in these phases of trauma. Where are you and what have you done to overcome? So that's what I've just shared with you now. So we feel the first thing happened when we experience trauma. We feel shock, confused, fear. There is a conflicting emotion, or even sometimes we feel like we want to numb the pain. Let me just give you a simple example of let's say a trauma of accident. You experience an accident, you come out of your car, you go like, wow, this is not happening. There's a shock, there's a fear, there's a conflict emotion that happened. But that is only what happened. But there is things that follow. So here's are the phases phases for trauma recovery. Number one, when trauma happened, the first thing we see is shock. We have a shock. And then from shock comes something we call acceptance. Then we start to accept what is happening, and then you grieve process, and then there's reinvent yourself. So it's a shock, is an acceptance, grieve, and then reinvent yourself. So I don't know in this process where you are. So when so the shock itself comes with something called denial. So when we experience the shock, come with something called denial. The first reaction from trauma is usually the shock. Okay, so we have this result of temporary slowdown, loss of productivity and performance. So when trauma happened, we started feeling anxiety, and we started feeling, and some of us were even deny. I was like in denial myself when the president of our country announced that we're going to be locked down for 21 days. I thought, okay, after 21 days, things are going to be all right. I kind of ignored the message that this coronavirus is going to be with us for quite some time. And also, they don't know when they're going to get the vaccination. And without the vaccination, things they cannot go through the same. So the shock of us being locked down, the shock of me being cut down of doing the things that I used to do, come with denial. Like, okay, in 21 days, I'll come back. So in this particular point of denial, we tend to focus about our past. We think like things will come the way they think. All our feelings, we're thinking all about the past. But then that's not all. After that process passed, that of a shock, there is another process of trauma, is acceptance. So this is something that we can never be forced. It's okay to feel overwhelmed in a traumatic event. Just kind of, you must just be patient. to accept the trauma, to accept that what is happening is really happening. It's each individual different process. What you need to do it is you need to acknowledge with yourself what you are dealing with. Okay, so that once you accept, okay, I've lost it, things won't come back again the way it is. Or if it's you lost something, for let's say your car, I have been in an accident, my car is lost. Acceptance. Once you start to acceptance the trauma, that exactly you are in a second place of overcoming and recover from it. Then from that there is another phase move, which is a grieving. Now between acceptance and grieving, it doesn't matter how long it takes, but it's a process. Each individual goes to this process in a different. Then we come through this process that we call grieving. Everyone grieves different. At this stage, we start to really feel the reality, and the pain start to kick it in, and slowly by slowly this intensive emotion may start to disappear. But grieving is different. I mean, I look at my own culture. We grieve different when we lost somebody. Some don't want to speak. Some will want to speak more. Some will. So when this traumatic event happen, each individual have their own way of grieving. So be kind to yourself if you are on a process of grieving. Sometimes we will start feeling anger, sadness, shame, and we start thinking of the things that we were supposed to do. Remember, a grieving is a personal process that has no limit time or right way to do it. Okay, so there is no right way to do it. I mean, I go to the funerals and I see people grieve. Some will just kind of cry and some will make noise. It doesn't matter how you grieve, but take time to grieve. Make sure that you acknowledge that I went through the shock. I have accepted the shock. I'm now grieving, and I am about to move forward to a next level. So once the grieving pass, there's something called reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself is like, I have a shock already of this thing. I have accepted now. I have done the grieving pause, and now I'm changing myself. I'm starting to think differently with the same circumstances. I am starting to think differently with the same circumstances. While we cannot change the circumstances, if we change the thinking, the circumstances will look different. Let me repeat. If we cannot change the circumstances, but if we change the thinking, the circumstances will look different. So for example, I'm going to give you an example, which I'm going to shoot a video. The next video I'll shoot my reinvent on my exercise. So we cannot change the circumstance. Let me give you an example. We cannot change the circumstances. The circumstance is still the same. Like the gym is closed now. Okay? I cannot go to the gym. So I have the circumstances but I'm now changing my thinking that what can I do to get the same result? That if I go to the gym will be the same, because I've been now waiting for 4 months and the gym is closed. So reinventing yourself is about change your thinking in the same circumstances. I call this as rises from the ashes, and start it all over with the same circumstances and different thinking. And my next video I'm gonna shoot is about how I reinvented myself on my business, how I have reinvented myself on my exercise and my today living. If this video helped you, please subscribe, share, comment, share with others. I would like to hear from you. Let me know what you want me to speak about. And it has been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Just quickly let me review the 4 phases of recovered trauma. Number 1, shock, and shock comes with denial. Number 2 is acceptance. Number 3 is grief. And number 4 is reinvent. Tell me, in this particular time where you listen to this, if you experience any trauma, where are you? God bless you. Nice to hearing. Nice for you to join me. Thank you. Bye.